good evening, or good afternoon if you're in America, I suppose. I'm so happy to be here with you again. Hopefully another fun-filled show coming up. Obviously we have Fan of the Month quiz, This Day in Elvis History, Photo and Song of the Week, the poll results, and news of a big prize, a big Elvis prize. Yes. Here we are. And I all want you to say a silent prayer, actually, that the green light on my my screen stays green. If any of you had to suffer through the buffering problems and so forth on the Wednesday show, it wasn't great. But the good news is that I actually have an installation date for the fiber broadband, the fiber line that's coming into this property, and it's Thursday, the 2nd of December. So we've got about 10 days to wait until that's in, and then hopefully all the buffering problems will be a thing of the past. And I really do appreciate everybody that stuck with me on Wednesday, because obviously it wasn't very pleasant watching me kind of freeze all the time. But these things happen, and we get through it. And as I say, 10 days time, and the fibre broadband will be in this property, and hopefully it'll all be a thing of the past. Anway says, "Oh, Steve, not your fault." I know, I felt like it was my fault. Early Christmas gift for you, Steve. Thank you, Jeanette. You're right. Yes, it will be. I won't know myself with the speed. Let's do the news about the competition, shall I? Elvis Back in Nashville. If you want to win a copy of the CD box set Elvis Back in Nashville that came out a couple of weeks ago, all you have to do is email your name, address and telephone number to the email, which is at the top there, elvistheultimatefan@gmail.com. And on the 5th of December, I think it's the 5th of December, it's the first Sunday in December, I will be playing Santa Claus, and I will be ringing somebody live on this show to tell them the good news that they have won the Elvis Back in Nashville. That's all you have to do. It will not cost you 1 cent, and I will get it delivered to your home. So just so long as you can accept the delivery when it arrives. So there you go. I might just take that off for a little while, but I will remind you again before I go. So let's have a little bit of an update on the biopic update. Of course, you will have seen probably by now the trailer, the 21-second trailer that's been knocking around, to say the least, on all news outlets, media and so forth, and also YouTube as well. It only shows 3 things really. It just shows sort of a silhouette of Colonel Tom Parker approaching a very young Elvis. Then it kind of fades to the 1968. I don't know what I'm saying this afternoon. 1968 NBC TV special. I do actually have my reservations about that shot, because that place does look a lot bigger than the NBC TV studio. And then it fades to That's the Way It Is. And that looks a lot more accurate than the first picture. In fact, you can even see Millie Kirkham there in the white dress. It looks pretty good. That. So, the Australian director Baz Luhrmann confirmed the release date of 24th of June 2022. We know that now. And dropped a first clip of the Austin Butler in action on the 15th of November. While we wait for the full trailer, here's a recap of what to expect from the drama. Much like Walk the Line did for Elvis's contemporary Johnny Cash, Luhrmann's biopic is expected to trace the king's life from his childhood in Tupelo, Mississippi, through to his death in Graceland. Now, we were debating whether this was going to finish in 1973, like a lot of Elvis stories seem to. And it now seems, although I don't know, I mean, it's only if this article is accurate, that they are going to take it right up to August 1977. That begs the question, who is going to play Elvis from 1973 to 1977? Can Austin Butler, reliably and realistically play Elvis in 1974, 5, 6, 7? You know what I'm saying? We don't really seem to be able to find an actor. We know that Australian actor Chaden J will appear as Elvis as a boy. So we've got the young Elvis, then Austin takes over. But is Austin going to take over and just go completely from sort of 1953 all the way up to 1977? Because as I say, at the moment I can't find listed anywhere another actor to play the older and the final years. Luhrmann will reportedly use the singer's career to trace the evolving cultural landscape and the loss of innocence in America over the course of his 21 years in the spotlight, with cameos from plenty of other musicians, including B.B. King, Kelvin Harrison Jr., and Little Richard, Alton Mason. And another thing I don't seem to be able to find at the moment, although it's probably not that surprising yet because it's still in sort of post-production and edit, but I don't seem to be able to find a running time. My opinion on the running time is anything less than 3 hours, 3 hours, 15 minutes, and it will be rushed. How do you condense Elvis's sort of 42 years into 90 minutes or 120 minutes? Now, is it likely to be a long film? I really don't know. But I do get that feeling that if I see when they finally announce the running time and it's 1 hour 45 or whatever, I will be immediately dubious about what they're going to have to leave out. And how much they're going to, will they touch just on the movies, or will they make a big deal of the movies and only touch on Son and things like that? So I did say to somebody in the week that they should have made it into a two-parter like they did with the last two Harry Potter movies. The last two Harry Potter movies sort of one ran on from the next. So, wouldn't it be great if we had 2.5 hour or 3 hour movies, and it could go from 1935 to 1967 and 1967 to 1977. They could finish up with the wedding in 1967, 1st of May. Hi, who's calling Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel?
Hey Steve, it's Morgan.
Oh, hi Morgan. How's things with you?
Good. It's been really good. I actually got to go down to Memphis this week.
All right.
I got to see the lights the day after they went up.
Oh, right. And were they as beautiful as always?
As always, beautiful. Just how Elvis would want it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they haven't changed that over the years.
No.
And because it was his favorite holiday, and he cared about it a lot because it was also his mom's favorite. So
yeah, well, that was the subject of the poll this week, was what is your favorite Elvis Christmas song? And I'll be revealing.
Yeah, and I had to think about it for a while.
Okay, what did you vote for?
I voted for Other because my favorite is If Every Day Could Be Like Christmas.
Yeah, that got a lot of votes outside the poll. That got a lot of comments. I also left out Blue.
Yeah, I like that one.
I also left out Blue Christmas as well because, again, I thought that one would have been just too obvious, and that got a lot of other votes as well.
Yeah, and it is obvious. It gets played a lot, and I like the Elvis songs that don't get played a lot. because the ones that do get played a lot are the ones that he always had to do. And towards the end, he didn't really like to have to do all those all the time.
I know what you
He
mean.
wanted to do more of his own thing.
Yeah, he used to rush through the sort of 50s medleys, didn't he? He rushed through the Teddy Bear
Yeah,
and Jailhouse Rock and things like that.
absolutely he did. And I get it. He's done it his whole life, and that's what everyone wants to hear him sing. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. He liked doing the songs that he wanted to do and not what everyone wanted to hear, because he knew that he had more to give than what they had seen.
Yes.
Heard,
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah, I agree. Tell me this, when are you planning on going to Graceland again? Is that your Christmas visit now, and it'll be the new year before you go again?
Yeah, that was my Christmas visit. We saw the lights. We did the meditation garden in the morning. It was very cold. And we just walked around the shopping complex. So we didn't do too much, but because we were only there for a day and a half, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're going in August, I believe.
Okay.
And we usually stay for about a week in August.
Do you
Because
stay?
we do the whole Elvis week.
Do you stay in the guest house?
No, we haven't yet. We want to.
Yeah.
We just haven't yet, because it's usually just me and my dad, but my mom really wants to stay at it.
Yeah.
When we go, so we'll probably stay there the next time we go.
Well, I hope you're going to ring. I hope you're going to ring in and tell us about the August visit.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Because they're supposed to. I think Tom Hanks is supposed to be there doing like a thing. I think they're going to show the documentary, the biopic. And I agree with you. I think if it's too short, then it's going to be rushed, and it's not going to be what the Elvis fans want to see. It's not going to please us as much as, just the person that's listened to Elvis a few times, maybe saw him once, not like the diehard fans like us.
Yeah.
We'll be like, that's not what happened,
Yeah.
And hopefully they do good attention to detail, and I think they will.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was showing those screen grabs from the trailer. That's the way it is shot. Looks really, really good. But
yes, and that's my favorite.
The 68 does look a little bit odd. I can't quite make out. It just looks too big. I mean, maybe it's just the camera angle. I don't know. But it was only a very, very small studio where that was taped.
Yeah, in Burbank, because in the summer, I went to California to do. I'm also a big movie fan, so I did all the movie stuff. But we stayed in the heart of Burbank, so I made sure we went to see the NBC studio, and it is not that big. So
you went inside. You went inside.
Yeah. They
Did you take photographs?
No, they weren't allowing photographs. We just kind of walked inside, and
right. Yeah.
We asked which studio did Elvis record it in, and they were like, and they showed us, and they were really nice about it. They weren't rude or anything.
Good.
But they said they prefer that we don't take pictures, since I think they were filming something at the time in the studio.
Yeah. That would have been fascinating.
But it wasn't that big, so.
Yeah.
But, in my lifetime so far, I've got to see where the 68 was shot. I got to see where That's the Way It Is was shot. I got to see the stage, and nobody was in there, no security guards or anything.
Wow.
So let's not tell anyone, but I may have got up on stage, and it was surreal, to say the least, knowing that. Great. That's where he stood.
Yeah. I heard that when they renovated the stage, they renewed the stage, they left the little square where Elvis used to stand before he went on.
Yeah, it's a different tile than the rest, that's how I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And I think it will be good. I just, like you said, the runtime will definitely reveal a lot about it. Um, I think a good 2 hours and 30 minutes.
At
I think
least.
that can be decent.
Mm.
I mean, they'll definitely leave out some parts, but because they can't make it too long.
Mm.
But if it's too short, then they're leaving out too much.
Exactly. They've got to hit that sweet spot. I think
Right.
minimum of 3 hours. But then again, will it be 3 hours? Because they don't really make those really, really long films anymore.
Yeah, it's rare that you get a 2 hour and 40-minute movie nowadays, anyways.
Yeah, that's considered
So
long.
they may do it, and what I think will happen is usually what does happen is the board of directors will say that's too long, we're not going to do that. So he'll have to cut some stuff out, even if he's already filmed it. And so usually, hopefully, when it comes to DVD or digital or whatever it comes to,
director's cut.
There'll be a director's cut or a uncut version.
Yeah, because This Is Elvis. Like there was two versions of This Is Elvis. There was two versions of Elvis the movie that Kurt Russell did. So this is probably what's going to happen. To be honest, Morgan, there's going to be a theatrical one, then there's going to be a director's cut.
Yeah, because I think the studio knows that this isn't going to be their biggest film of the year. So they're not going to make it the longest film of the year. They bring a Fast and the Furious movie or a Jurassic Park. They can make that however long they want because it's such a big franchise.
Yeah, that's right.
So I think it will be a director's cut, and I feel like that will definitely include a lot more because I know the director's a big Elvis fan, and that's why he wanted to do this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I don't think he will leave anything out on purpose. I think it will just be what the studio
dictates.
wants taken.
But then he'll also get his way, and they'll release the director's cut as well. And of course, that's the one that you and I will be interested in.
Yeah, and I think that will be probably better than the theatrical. And I liked the Elvis and Nixon movie, but it wasn't great. It wasn't what I was hoping for.
Yeah. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I didn't like Shannon playing Elvis. He didn't look the part.
No.
And I didn't like that. They also didn't include any Elvis music in the movie.
Yeah. Well, they don't show anybody's face in this trailer, and that worries me as well because I would imagine that Austin probably doesn't look anything like Elvis, unfortunately. So,
I think I'm hoping with some makeup they can do it. I feel like I wish they would have gone with, and it hasn't been done before, but I wish they would have gone with a Elvis tribute artist because that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
sure, going from performing on stage doing a 20 set list song to making a major motion picture is a big jump, but if you find the right guy, you find a winning ETA or something, you can make it good. I saw someone in the comments earlier before the show started saying that they thought Sean Clush could have done it, and I agree with that. He did a good 70s Elvis, and I think he would have been a good choice for that.
Do we know, is Austin going to be singing or is he going to be miming to Elvis's songs? Do we know that yet?
I don't think they've released that, but I think it will be miming.
Yeah.
That's usually what they do.
Yeah. Well,
it's rare that an actor can act and sing at the same time.
Well, I must admit I would be happy with that if it's Elvis singing and then Austin miming. Yeah.
Because it won't ruin the image of, even if it's a good movie, you get him and they put him singing, it could ruin the movie completely, even if it's a good movie.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, Morgan, it's been fascinating speaking to you. I enjoy every time you call in, and please do call back next time, won't you?
Yep, I will.
All right. Thanks, Morgan. Take care.
Thanks, you too, Steve.
All the best. Bye. Bye. What a fascinating call. And it's so refreshing to hear when Morgan comes on, the young fan. It's just great. And the fact that he actually lives so near to Graceland, he can visit numerous times during the year, and then he can report back what's happening. So it's always great to hear Morgan call in. The running time. I think we should have a minimum of 3 hours. Let's do the poll. What is your favorite Elvis Christmas song? And then I'll read out some of your comments. Or I can just speak to Jeanette. Great. Hi, Jeanette. How are you?
Hi, Steve.
How are you
I'm
doing?
doing fine. How are you?
Yeah, brilliant.
I'm doing very well.
What did you think of Morgan's call?
I wanted to say if I had a 15-year-old daughter, I would definitely set her up with Morgan, but I don't.
I like it. I really do.
Seems like a very nice young man, smart.
Yeah. And very, very sort of proficient, and he knows a lot about Elvis. You can tell.
He certainly does. He's very articulate, and I have no doubt whatever he decides to do in life is going to be very successful.
Yes.
So, Morgan, if you do end up being a director or a screenwriter, put me in your movie, okay?
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the biopic and the trailer?
Well, I'm very skeptical about what I'm seeing. It looked kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, it looked kind of cool, but I'm so hard on movies and actors and things like that. It's just so difficult to emulate Elvis when it comes to looks, the way he acts. It's just really difficult. When you love Elvis, you want somebody to be as close to looking and acting like Elvis as possible. And I think it's really difficult to please Elvis fans. So it's great that they're still keeping his name out there and making a biopic, but I'm still very skeptical. And now that you're saying that it's going to take it all the way to 77, well, I mean, that's good. They make all kinds of movies, though, that are lengthy, 3 hours, 3.5 hours. There are Westerns that are that long. There are mobster movies that are that long.
Yeah.
So why not take an icon that everybody in every country, every continent knows who Elvis is? He's complete Americana. So why not bump that time up to 2.5 hours or maybe even 3? Because his life was not just cut and dry. It wasn't a simple life. There was a lot going on with Elvis from the beginning all the way to the end. So I'm hoping it's longer than, say, an hour and a half.
Well, I'm just wondering if it's an hour and a half or 2 hours, what will they leave out? Because there's no way they're going to get the 42 years into 2 hours. Now, I had the exact same feeling that or opinion as Morgan. There will be 2 versions. There will be the theatrical release, and then there will be the director's cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's what will be.
And like you said, of course, we want the director's cut.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the only one I'll be interested in.
Yeah. But, for those who don't know much about him, I would hope they don't leave out really significant points to his life and his career. You can show the bad stuff. Show a lot of the good, too. Show the good and the bad, because that's what everyone's lives has their ups and downs. And he was not a perfect man by any means.
No.
But let's just hope that they leave in the most significant parts that led him throughout his career.
Yeah, I mean, they really do need to focus on the Sun stuff, because that's where it all began.
Yes, I agree.
There's not much they can say sort of between 1937 and 1948. I mean, not being funny, but I don't think a lot happened. Right. His childhood is kind of hazy anyway, so there wouldn't be a lot to go on. But then once they move to Memphis, it can really, sort of start going into detail.
And I agree with that. And I think I told you before, I hope they don't over dramatize things just for for the sake of the movie, just to add more drama. Don't put things in there that don't assume this happened. That's why I was talking about accuracy. But I also wanted to call really quick about the Christmas albums or the Christmas music.
Yeah. What did you pick?
Yeah. Well, you didn't put Blue Christmas in there.
No, deliberately. I deliberately left it out.
You know what? I know why you did that. But yes, I am one of those who chose that as my number one. I like what I like, and my ears like what they like. And Blue Christmas, woo, it's just really cool. And I think as my runner-ups, I put Silver Bells. I just love Silver Bells, and I love the way he sings it in simplicity, and it just sounds so lovely with the background vocals. It's just a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And I don't think Christmas music is supposed to be sexy, but when he's singing that Merry Christmas Baby Jam session,
oh yeah,
that's kind of sexy, and I dug it, and I like it. Yeah. And I know they had to shorten the song because it was getting too long, but you can hear him just getting down, and you hear him saying, what was he saying? Like, dig it, James.
Yeah, dig it, James, man. And he was also telling Norbert. Yeah. He was also telling Norbert Putman to wake up, wasn't he? Wake up, Put.
Yes, he did. I thought that was cool. You know,
he was having a lot of fun.
It's not a typical Christmas song, but it's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
And then as a kid, I always liked "Here Comes Santa Claus," and only Elvis can sing it like Elvis, and you know what I'm talking about when he does here. I love the tone of his voice. So those would be my top songs, and I will always love Blue Christmas, and I always sing it, even when it's not Christmas.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, he did it live on stage once in July.
And you know what? I have no problem with that.
No.
And I know you and Morgan touched on it. Sure, he probably got tired of singing the same songs over again. Yeah. But at the same time, he knew if it wasn't for the fans, loving those songs, he wouldn't have gone as far as he did.
Yeah.
And he sung the songs that he knew his fans loved. And I think he did it to express his love for the fans.
Exactly.
You love those songs. I might get tired of singing it, but you know what? This is my gift for you. This concert I'm putting on is for you. Yeah. So he sure. I have no doubt he got tired of singing it.
He always said the interaction between him and the audience was a two-way thing, and if you can get that going, then it really works. He said that in a press conference, didn't he? So I agree.
Go.
All right, Jeanette, it's always a pleasure speaking to you. Thanks for calling in.
And I wanted to wish, those who are celebrating a happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, yes.
I'm so thankful and blessed for everything that I have. I know you all are too.
Yes.
Celebrate Thanksgiving all year round. And I'm thankful for this channel and discovering you, Steve, and for all the hard work that you put into it. So happy Thanksgiving, friends, and take care.
Thanks, Jeanette. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All the best.
Okay, bye,
Bye-bye.
Steve.
Bye.
You too. Bye now.
Yeah. I agree with what Jeanette says about Blue Christmas as well. I've often thought that little woo that Millie Kirkham did, that Elvis asked her to do so as they wouldn't release it. And of course they did go and release it, but I always thought that was kind of cute. So I briefly put up the poll, and here it is. Holly Leaves and Christmas Trees, 12%. Merry Christmas Baby the Jam, which Jeanette just spoke about, 21%. I'll Be Home for Christmas, 18%. Santa Claus is Back in Town, that one that Lieber and Stoller wrote on the fly in about an hour because they were one song short. So they went into to another control room and wrote Santa Claus is Back in Town, and Elvis recorded it there and then. Excuse me. And another Elvis song, please comment below, 34%. And here are some of your comments. Mark W. says Blue Christmas. Momentog1 says Santa Bring My Baby Back to Me. Darren Greenwood, If Every Day Was Like Christmas. Christine Rathbone, hi Christine. We have another caller. Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
Hi, Steve. How you doing? Yeah, not too bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, great. And let me ask you, what's your favourite Christmas song?
Well, obviously love Blue Christmas.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one from that, I really love If I Get Home on Christmas Day.
Yeah,
I think that's a great song.
that's one that was mentioned a lot in the comments.
Yeah, I really like that one. I love all the Christmas stuff, but yeah, for me, Blue Christmas. And I think Elvis sings White Christmas so good as well.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
I think his
goes
take on that.
he goes very kind of bluesy at the end, doesn't he?
Yeah. That's a good take on that. Regarding the film as well.
Yeah.
I really hope it is at least 3 hours long.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be. They've just made a new James Bond film, and that's 3 hours long.
Yeah, the what was it called? No Time to Die. We went and saw it the week it came out, and it was near enough 3 hours, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think, like you say, there's so much to cram into Elvis's life and career, and I think all the films they've made of Elvis's life and career at the moment, it hasn't been there. Kurt Russell, the movie was okay, but it only went up to a certain time. The rest of the films really poor. The acting and the people who portrayed Elvis.
Yeah.
It weren't good, and it doesn't show him in the best light, I don't think, really, do you?
No, I mean, of course, when the Elvis the movie was made with Kurt Russell in 1979, they didn't really have much. They didn't really know a lot about the 70s, so they kind of finished it in 1969, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But I was quite surprised at that, though, because Charlie Hodge was in that film, and he would have known a hell of a lot about the 70s with Elvis, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and I also thought it was quite odd as well that they had Priscilla and Elvis separated by 1969, because he's supposed to have made that telephone call to Lisa just before he went on in 1969. So again, they kind of skewed the timeline. And again, I fear they might do this with the biopic, and if they do, I won't be a happy chappy at all.
No, myself, no, I won't either. I'm hoping. I've got my hopes for it, but I also think it's. I don't know. With all the diehard Elvis fans, let's just hope we not get disappointed. It's a big film. It's a big film to push Elvis's life and career, and a soundtrack album from it. And I do agree they will make a director's cut, because it's there to make. To make money, isn't it, at the end of the day as well? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, I mean, is this going to be probably the last Elvis biopic ever? Is this going to be the last stab? Yeah. So let's hope they get it right.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, I thought, even though it was a biopic, I thought This Is Elvis was fantastic.
Yeah, well, that was because it was Elvis.
Showing his life and career. Yeah. But I think it was Elvis in parts. He did have a few actors here and there, but I just hope it'd be interesting, like you say, who plays the 70s Elvis. Will he play a whole lot, and will he look that good?
Yeah.
You might get the story right, but if they don't get the acting right and the person portraying him all the way through, the film isn't going to do so good. People are going to say he don't look like Elvis, and all this.
Yeah.
And of course, I think they will use Elvis's songs. I think they have to, don't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, obviously, that teaser we've seen over the last few days, that is that is just one of probably many. There's going to be dribs and drabs coming out between now and June. Yeah. There'll probably be another one now, early part of 2022. Then there might be something around about the April time, and then it really builds up to June.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm sure there will. But it seemed okay. I did get your points on the 68. Possibly it was just the angle, I suppose, it was shot at.
Yeah,
it seems to be. But it didn't look too bad. But obviously the 70s one looked good.
Yeah,
and that's the way it is.
The only thing that's worrying me is they're not showing anybody's face. But again, if it's a teaser, then maybe that's the idea.
Yeah, that's the idea, I suppose. I think so. Yeah, I think you won't get that until maybe the last one before the film's released.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what they do with it all. Yes, the more good little bits that come out, it gets more people interested in it.
Yeah,
and they see it and they think, oh, this looks good, and it's going to be aimed to all the Elvis fans. So let's just hope it gets aimed to the general public who like Elvis or like the odd Elvis song will go and support the film.
Yeah, Yeah, that's what
You
we
know, so
need.
that's
We
what we
need.
want, really.
Yeah,
isn't
we
it?
need.
Yeah.
We need to turn on new fans like Morgan. You know, we need more fans like Morgan.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. He's clued up on the whole lot. That's great. You
Yeah,
know, young
no,
lad.
I'd say
He knows it all.
he's a fantastic
Yeah.
fan. Very knowledgeable,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, he is.
and
Yeah, he is.
luckily he's so close to Graceland as well.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
very
nice.
envious.
Yeah, very
Very
nice.
envious.
Yeah, I'm mate. Yeah.
All right, Mark. Thanks. It's a
All right,
pleasure as
cheers,
always.
Steve.
All right.
And you, mate.
Cheers.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. That's actually struck me what Mark said there about how, you know, if we can get non-Elvis fans interested in the movie as well. I can tell you at the moment that there aren't any non-Elvis fans that know about this film that I know of anyway. Maybe I'm doing it injustice, but I know that the average non-Elvis fan doesn't know that there is a biopic in the works unless you know differently. So there you go. So we've got Christine Rathbone. I like Blue Christmas. Didn't Elvis say it was his favorite on the 68 special? Now, I've got to tell you something about that. At this very moment, I'm listening to If I Get Home on Christmas Day. There are so many I hate choices. So today it's Holly Leaves and Christmas Trees. So it could change. Hi, Maxine.
Hello.
How are you keeping?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Now tell me, will we make the morning?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has a chance yet to see Maxine's video, but she does a vlog there about We Can Make the Morning, and it's a very, very good summary of the song. And I'm still a little annoyed to think that how much Felton slathered the overdubs on that, and you couldn't hear Elvis's voice at times. On this new box set, you can hear it. Yeah.
Oh, it sounds so good.
Yeah, I agree. And don't forget, I'm just giving everybody a reminder that they can win that box set on the 5th of December by sending your name, address, and telephone number to the email address you see on the screen now. Okay, what would you like to say?
Oh, it's Christmas music and the movie trailer.
Okay, all right. So what did you pick as the Christmas?
I'll Be Home for Christmas. That's a classic. That's got to be
1957. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a really, really good vocal performance, isn't it?
Oh, it definitely is. His voice it bursts out of the seams, if you know what I mean. Just like proper blares out there.
Yeah. And what about the trailer?
I think it will do good as long as they keep it 100% accurate to his lifestyle and to how he performed. Then there's not going to be a problem. But as soon as they start messing with things that aren't true, that's when you're going to have the issues.
Or leaving stuff out. Because
yeah, exactly.
What's your opinion on the running time? My opinion is, as I said to Morgan and Jeanette, at least 3 hours.
It's got to at least be 3 hours, if not 3.5 hours, because there's no way you're going to be able to put from when he was a child up to his death in an hour and a half film.
That's right.
It's just not going to work.
Without either leaving something out or just skimming over it, or just, I agree with you.
Exactly.
I think it would be almost too ambitious for us to hope for 3.5 hours, but if I see the running time as 3.5 hours, I will be delighted.
Oh, me too. I'll be straight there. I'll be there every day if I could.
Yeah. And of course, then if it's 3.5 hours in the theatre, we could be looking at 4 or 4.5 for the director's cut, and then I'll just be in heaven.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That would.
Providing they do a good job. I don't want to see 4.5 hours of rubbish.
No. See, when you put the first part where he's walking into the 68 special comeback, it just doesn't look right because it looks too big. But then again, as you said, it could have been the camera angle.
Yeah, but, I mean, there's an expanse of red in front of him which look like the bleacher seats.
Exactly.
It just we'll have to wait and see. You see, but the other one, I keep saying this, that's the way it is. One looks really, really good on detail. You know, you've got the suites, and then in front of them you've got Millie, and then you've got Elvis. It looks so right, and yet, you know, like you say, it just could be the camera angle. Yeah, it's hard to know.
But
it's a long time to wait.
Sorry.
It's a long time to wait.
It's a long time to wait. But if he does do a director's cut, I think he should release that into cinema. But you know, like where they do like a celebration type thing,
Yeah.
like an Elvis fan sort of party thing. I think that'd be a good idea for the director's cut.
What they could do is they could do the theatrical one in June and then the director's cut in August around the anniversary of his death.
That'd be amazing. That'd also try and get other people who are non-Elvis fans into it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. As I was saying just before you came on, I know most non-Elvis fans, unfortunately, don't even know about this picture at the moment. So they're gonna have to do some serious promotion between sort of January and June to get non-Elvis fans knowing that there is a biopic coming out as well.
I'll be spreading it all over social media.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. Yeah. Okay, Maxine, thanks very much. Oh, by the way, thanks for moderating again today.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And we'll be doing the quiz in a few minutes.
Awesome.
Okay.
Can't wait for that one. It's gonna be epic.
Cheers.
All right, Steve.
Cheers, Maxine.
Mate.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
What else did we have here? We had Jill. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was going to say. Christine's thought that Elvis said that his favorite was Blue Christmas when he did the 68 special, but it wasn't actually. It was the editing that made it look like that, because what he did was after he said, I'd like to sing my favorite Christmas song of all the ones I've recorded, he then goes into Santa Claus is Back in Town, but he starts forgetting the words, so he then jumps into Blue Christmas and sings Blue Christmas, but they actually cut out the part where he launches into Santa Claus is Back in Town and edit onto the front of Blue Christmas, and it makes it look like he was saying that Blue Christmas was his favorite song. So just in case you didn't know that, that's what it is. Jill, hi Jill. Jill Brett, my fave is If I Get Home on Christmas Day. I watch it on YouTube channel and the video is of Elvis's home from the army in the snow and Gladys is driving the pink caddy. It always tears me up. Danielle, hi Danielle. Right now it's holly leaves and Christmas trees, but as I type, I have to type this really fast because I can change at any moment. I know how you feel. It nearly changes from day to day. EP Fanatic, it's not officially Christmas until I've heard Blue Christmas at least a few dozen times. Alan Groom, Santa Claus is Back in Town. Good choice, Alan. The Burn Man, I like holly leaves and Christmas trees. And then we've also got Michael Gillen. Hi, Michael. Blue Christmas is only Christmas song I like. Nothing comes close. And Carol Wainwright says, my favourite Christmas song is Blue Christmas. I really enjoyed it when he sang it on the 68 special. Fantastic. Okay, if I had to choose one, mine would be... I always think Holly Leaves and Christmas Trees actually is a sad one because he kind of sings... I always think he might be singing about when... they were all together for that first Christmas in 1957, him and Gladys, his mother, because he says, you know, Christmas trees used to be so much to me and things like that. And they don't mean as much when you're not here and all that. I always think Holly Leaves and Christmas Trees is a very, very sad song. And there's a lot of sadness in his voice. However, I wouldn't pick that. What I would pick is Santa Claus is Back in Town from 1957. That's my favorite Christmas song. We're going to do Fan of the Month quiz now, if you'd like to get ready for that. And it's a new theme. It's an idea I had during the week, and I had to think quickly. 6 questions. I'm going to say a quote, and you have to tell me who connected with Elvis said it. So if you're all ready... for the, I'll just let you settle yourselves for a second while I have a drink. Sun Studios. Okay. No one gave me the study guide, Steve. Okay. Okay, Kay Gibbons says I might actually increase the size of that email address. The email address to send the Nashville competition to win this box set, email your name and address and telephone number to Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. Okay, so that's for the benefit of anybody that can't read that. And what I might do is I might increase the size of that email address for next week. Thanks, Ed. Very nice. Santa Claus is back in town. My favorite as well, Michael. Yeah. Right. So I can't put it off any longer. So 6 questions. Who said it? You should stick to truck driving. Who said that? And Maxine will, and I think I saw Dave on here as well, they will confirm who got it first. Who got the correct answer first. Steve will do the best marketing for the biopic than Warner Brothers. Surely if Tom Hanks is in this movie, it's going to be a bust. Okay. Juan. Jim Denny. Well done. Now, I think Juan was in first. My buddy. Well done. Lozano. Yeah, Jim Denny was in when Elvis sort of auditioned for the Grand Ole Opry. And after Elvis had sung, he said, well, Mr. Denny, what do you think? And he says, I think you should stick to driving a truck. I bet he lived to regret that. Ed says, dang. Hey, Juan, how you getting on? So as far as I know, it was Juan. I'm just waiting for... Denise says, oh, sound. There's definitely sound there. Banjo Paul says he knew his stuff, yeah. Like the fella that turned down the Beatles. Okay. Yeah, correct. Thanks, Maxine, for typing that out. Yeah. Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. For anybody that wants to contact me, or if you want to, it was David Juan, yes. Thanks, Maxine. Yeah, for anybody that wants to contact me about anything to do with the channel, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel at gmail.com. You can tweet me at Steve Francis, Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel on Facebook, and Elvis the Ultimate Fan Channel on Instagram. If you have any ideas for the show, if you want to send me a pick of the week, if you want to send me a background picture that I can put up, the only thing is it does have to be it does have to be landscape, not portrait. In other words, if it's longer than it is wider, it has to be wider than it is taller to fit the screen. Great. The next question is, who said it? It's a low stage and the lights are going to be right in our eyes. Who said that? It's a low stage and the lights are going to be right in our eyes. I like this topic. I like these questions. I think it'll be blankety blank again next week. Hi, Michael. Right. I'm going to give it to Michael because he put Hodge, but we know he meant Charlie Hodge. So, well done, Michael. Yeah, it's from Elvis on tour when he comes into the dressing room and Elvis asks him about the stage, and he says that it's a low stage and the lights are going to be right in our eyes. Bossa Nova says pass. Dan says, oh, by the way, I've got to give you... That's for Juan. And then Michael, I've got to give... Okay, and Maxine has just confirmed that it was Michael. Right, here's a good one. We painted sparrows yellow and sold them as canaries. Allegedly, that's what he told Scotty and Bill. Hello, Nancy. Good afternoon to you. Lee Ash. Let's put the Colonel Parker. Well done, Lee. In fact, Lee, you get a... Oops, sorry. I didn't mean to do again. Yeah, Juan, you got it again. JC22, Don, Ludane, Jill, Keith Phillips says the con man. Yeah, it strikes me as something he would do, a carny would do. Shows you how wicked the Colonel was, Ed. Yeah. Lee says, I love the clap. It's lucky you didn't get this. Okay. Yeah, Maxine Lee got it first. Thanks very much for the confirmation. Jeanette says Sneaky Parker. Right, if we are going to go for question number 4 for the prize of a Graceland gift voucher. Just looking there, actually. Me and Elvis kind of have the same sort of style shirts on. Although, of course, he is a lot better looking than me. It goes without saying. Look at that hair. Look at that hair. He quit dyeing it there for a while, didn't he? Here we go. Question 4. Who said, I never saw a guitar player that was worth a damn? Just it's the same really as you should stick to driving a truck. Okay. Question 4. I never saw a guitar player that was worth a damn. Well done, Lee. Well done. It was Vernon. And it features in the opening of Elvis on Tour. And then Elvis gives a really, really great laugh when he says it. My daddy had seen a lot of guitar players and stuff. And he said, you better make up your mind what you're going to do. Because I never saw a guitar player that was worth a damn. And then Elvis burst out laughing. There's no laugh like Elvis's. He came up from his boots nearly, you know. Well done, Lee Ash. And everybody else that got it right. Just about everybody said Vernon. I would imagine that Elvis reminded Vernon of that on occasion. Probably when they were in Graceland in 1957, that Christmas. He said, Daddy, do you remember that you said a guitar player wasn't worth a damn? I would have rubbed it in as well. Question number 6. No, Steve. Question number 5. This is a real decent, fine boy. I'd say there'll be a lot of people get this right. At least this person came out and said it, because he had been a little bit derogatory about Elvis up until that time. But, yeah. Wow, Lee Ash is having a stormer of a week. Lee Ash. Well done. Well done. Yeah. Wow. Look at all those Ed Sullivans. No, it wasn't Milton Berle, Vanessa. I'm going to give you a... Gave me the opportunity to use that anyway. Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Good to see you on here, Dave. I'll be in touch. Yeah. January 1957. He said, we've never had a pleasanter experience on our show, and he's thoroughly all right, and he's a real decent, fine boy. Now, the 6th and final question. This is a little bit of a longer question, but I'm sure you'll get this right. Who said in 1957, when asked about the music of the day, he said, it's a brutal, ugly, degenerate, vicious form of expression it has been my displeasure to hear. Naturally, I refer to the bulk of rock and roll. Now, who do you think said that? And again, this person changed their mind a little later. His laugh was as strong as his voice. Yeah. It never... hi, Alice. It never fails to make me laugh myself when I hear Frank Sinatra, Lee Ruse. Well done, Lee. A different Lee. Frank Sinatra. Crosby. No, Michael. Yeah, you know, he changed his mind quite a bit, Sinatra. He became firm friends with Elvis in the 60s. They were pictured together quite a bit at charity events and so forth, when Elvis used to give out his yearly checks and so forth. And thanks, Dave. Yeah. It's a brutal, ugly, degenerate, vicious form of expression. It has been my displeasure to hear. And then he does a Welcome Home Elvis 3 years later. We're going to do This Day in Elvis History. And I will just remind anybody for coming in late, if you're coming in late, if you want to win Elvis Back in Nashville, the box set, email me your name, address and telephone number to elvistheultimatefan@gmail.com, and I will pick a winner. And that will be sent out to you, and it won't cost you a single cent. Okay. Just want to remind you of that, because I really do want to give this away to somebody. I really do. And I want as many people to be in with a chance. Right, this day in Elvis history. You know, if you often wonder, I wonder what Elvis was doing on this day, especially if it's your birthday. If it's your birthday today, 21st of November, Elvis was, or not so much Elvis, but this is what was going on in Elvis's life. Vernon was in prison, because he was in prison from May 25th, 1938 to February 6th, 1939, for him and a friend actually forging a number on a check. 1940-41, they were at Reese Street, where the Presleys stayed with Vesta and Cletus Presley and their daughter Patsy. 1942, they were in Kelly Street, a rented small apartment. I've got some, don't worry, I've got some, I have some pictures coming up. 1952, Elvis worked at Marl Metal Products, a furniture manufacturer. He worked from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift as an assembler. 1953, they were in 398 Cypress Street, rented from January the 7th to April 1953. And then 572 Popular Avenue and 185 Winchester Street, a two-bedroom apartment, number 328. 1954, they lived in 2414 Lamar Avenue. 1955, now here we are. This was a huge day in Elvis history, the 21st of November. And in 1955, he signed for RCA Records. He signed, and it also, they got the rights to the Sun Masters as well. That was part and parcel of him signing. And the Presleys lived at 141 Getwell Street. And there's obviously Sam and Parker, Bill Bullock, I think, in the middle there. And that looks like Bob Neal as well. And I have another one as well, which is actually one of there's his mum and his dad, Colonel Parker again. Must have been a very, very, very proud day for Vernon and Gladys. And of course, there is the page. I mean, I think it was a 4 or 5 page contract, but that's the one with Elvis's signature and Vernon and Colonel Tom Parker. 1956, RCA release Love Me Tender, while Paramount put the movie into general release. Then we have 1958, Hotel Grunwald in Bad Nauheim, Germany. And there he is on maneuvers. Then we have 1961. And this is quite a nice picture coming up, actually. Because of a snowstorm, the filming of Kid Galahad had to move back to Hollywood. And I've got a photograph here of Elvis. Looks like he's on a plane there, actually. Obviously, they were flying somewhere. And his hair kind of looks kind of flattish there, doesn't it? Like, almost like he's had a hat on. Maybe he has. Maybe he's just taken a hat off. Especially if there was a snowstorm or something like that, he would have been wearing a hat. But it's a good picture. I like that one. 1962, Girls, 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 released into movie theaters. 1964, single, Ain't That Lovin' You Baby, hit number 16 in the US. 1970, around this time, during one of Elvis's visits to Palm Springs, Elvis met with Vice President Spiro Agnew. Elvis wanted to give Agnew a special gun as a present, which the Vice President had to refuse. However, he was very impressed by Elvis's patriotic sentiments. I'm sure. Yes, great patriot. Elvis Presley was a great patriot. 1973, during this period, Elvis was introduced to a racquetball. There's Elvis's racket by Dr. Nick, who was an accomplished player. This was a kind of therapeutic exercise for Elvis. They played frequently in the early morning at the local Y and at Memphis State. There you go. And it says Elvis Presley's personal racket, circa 1975. If you can't read that, that's what it says. We're going to move on to Pick of the Week. And Pick of the Week is 1956. And this was actually suggested by Danny B-Side. And now, ladies, I'm not sure whether he is getting dressed for you or getting undressed. You can make your own mind up whether he's doing that. I haven't seen that photo before. I would imagine that's the one Bossa Nova Baby is commenting on, the one that I did for Kid Galahad. That one there. I would imagine that's what she's referring to. It's a good one. Yeah. But anyway, I will go back to the Pick of the Week. Danielle says, I swear he's staring at me. Arkansas Dave says, get the cold shower ready. Yeah. He great set of eyes Elvis had. Great set of eyes. That's the Pick of the Week. And I'm going to move on to Song of the Week. And I'm going to just put this back up again because, as I say, I do want as many people as possible to enter this competition and give as many people a chance to win that box set. All you have to do, it's not going to cost you a cent. All you have to do is send your name, address, and telephone number. And I just felt that I wanted to give something back. All the support you've shown me over the last couple of years with this channel, the people that have bought me coffee, the people that have sent me super chats and donated to this channel, I felt it was time to give something back. And if it all goes well, I will do this probably on a regular basis, and I will be giving Elvis giveaways a lot more often because you're the best. I'm talking to you. You're the best. Song of the Week. Now, this song, I actually mentioned him earlier on because he got one of the questions right. Juan Lozano suggested this. He was very, very kind. He sent me a video of him singing this song, accompanying himself on the piano. He did a fantastic job. It was written by Roy C. Bennett and Sid Tepper. It was a bonus track on the Speedway soundtrack album, but wasn't recorded at the soundtrack sessions in June of '67 with the rest of the movie songs, but comes from the Guitar Man sessions of September '67. Elvis and the band did 21 takes, but Elvis wasn't happy with the vocals, so he overdubbed a new one onto this take. The song is Mine and was suggested, as I said, by my old friend Juan Lozano when he sent me a video of him singing it and accompanying himself on the piano. And thanks again for that, Juan. It was a great performance. Well, now I have the take I have chosen is take 4. Not the master, take 21. And it's preceded by a rehearsal. And also there is a little bit of chat Elvis chat at the end of the take. So listen out for that as well. So don't cut it off as soon as you hear the end of the song. So listen to the little bit of rehearsal at the front of the song and then the Elvis chat at the end. That's mine, take 4, my song of the week. That's about it. Again, one more reminder. Please email your name, address and telephone number to elvistheultimatefanchannel@gmail.com, because I would love for one of you out there, my lovely listeners, to win that box set. Thank you so much to all the lovely callers that called in today. I really enjoyed speaking to you all. And I hope you can join me Wednesday for another show. There'll be This Day in Elvis History, Photo of the Week, and a poll. Don't forget, if you do want to support the channel, show your support, you can buy me a coffee using the link below. You can see that there under Elvis's picture. Buy me a coffee. It's much appreciated. So until Wednesday, please look after yourselves. And yay! I don't want to jinx it, but the internet held up. See you Wednesday, everybody. And thanks again.